The P. Diddy trial has begun. Finally, we are recording this on the first day of the trial, so I'm sure by the time that this video comes out, there's going to be some new things that popped up. But I wanted to just talk about it because we've been excited about this thing happening, and boy, I can't wait to see what skeletons come out of the closet on this one.
How deep does this go?
Yeah. So the first thing that I want to talk about is how has old Puff Daddy been doing in jail? Apparently not that good, because this is the artist's rendition of what he looks like now in the courtroom. Apparently he don't have access to Just for Men in there and all of his gray hair showing.
Oh.
Either that or he's just aged considerably while he's been doing his time, or well, not serving time, being held basically.
Being held, yeah.
I mean, how old? He's like what? How old is he? 60? Jeez, how old is he? He's 55. 55 years old.
Okay.
And of course, they don't have any, there's no like live footage or anything from inside the courtroom. They have the news people that are all like outside, like doing their interviews and stuff like that for whatever new information they get. But currently, all we got is just what the people are drawing on the inside. And so first off, let's talk about the charges that they're actually bringing against him. So it says here, the embattled music mogul Diddy Combs could face life in prison if convicted of all counts of his criminal sex trafficking trial. He got it was last September of last year.
Yeah, September.
It feels like so much longer than that for some reason. Because
I know. But they were gathering info for this trial for freaking a long time.
Apparently they didn't have to do too much of that because he did it all himself. He has all the video footage.
Yeah.
All right, so in September 2024, he was arrested in New York after he was indicted on one count of racketeering conspiracy and one count of sex trafficking and one count of transportation to engage in prostitution. He pled not guilty. He also may have fled the country for a little bit as well. I didn't do it. See ya. But then he almost snuck back in because he started showing up at people's TikToks and stuff randomly.
Yeah.
I don't.
It was kind of weird.
I'm not really too sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole, just him in general, over time has seemed like he's just been immune to anything legal happening to him. Like he just runs the show. And so I don't know if he's like, oh, I gotta get out of here. But he's like, know who I am.
They know me.
I'm coming back. And they're like, oh, you're back. Good. Lock him up. It says in April, prosecutors filed another superseding indictment that added one additional count of sex trafficking and one additional count of transportation engaged in prostitution. And he once again pleaded not guilty. And apparently there's how many, we did a video about it. They had
126
separate cases.
Yeah.
Besides this going on, or that are lined up, which is an insane amount to even have that many allegations.
Right. Yeah.
And those are the ones that they just went through and are like, okay, we have enough to make a case out of.
Yeah.
With this.
These those are the ones that stuck out of the thousands. They were like, I don't know if that's enough, but they were like, yeah, well, this is solid.
Goodness gracious. So the accusations, the prosecutors allege that between 2004 and 2024, he created a criminal enterprise using his business empire where he engaged in sex trafficking, forced labor, kidnapping, larceny, bribery, and obstruction of justice. Prosecutors claim that he coerced at least 3 women to engage in sex acts with him, at times with male prostitutes during occasions known as freak-offs, where the women were allegedly drugged and forced to engage in sex for days. Authorities also allege Combs recorded some of the sex acts and controlled his victims by promising financial and career opportunities, as well through threats of violence and other harm. And those other stuff too, like the allegations of them drugging the drinks at the party and
right,
and a lot of other things that people have been, a lot of just gross, nasty stuff too. Then, of course, you got Cassie Combs, who was a former girlfriend, P. Diddy, who they had the video where he, they're in a hotel room and he goes and grabs her by the hair, drags her back to, hits her and everything. Which we'll bring that back up again because their first witness that they bring up apparently is one of the police officer or the security guard that worked there.
Yeah, I think it was LAPD or something.
Yeah. Right. And that happened in 2016, almost 10 years ago. And then civil lawsuits. So in addition to this criminal case he is subject to dozens of civil lawsuits from alleged victims, including those who were minors at the time of the allegations, who claim they were drug sexually assaulted by Combs. The civil suits are not part of his federal criminal trial and will not be considered during it. So like they're completely separate, but like the lawyer said they had over 100, but this one says dozens. Either way, big ol' fat stack of just,
Yikes.
which there ain't no way that he's going to OJ his way out of this. Can't.
I don't think he can. There's no way he can. There's too much. They're gonna show too much, and I think he was like so arrogant when he was doing most of it that I don't feel like he was even trying to hide. You know?
Oh yeah, like
he's just like stomping out Cassie in the middle of the hotel, right? Like he didn't care.
yeah, and then like you go back to the video that keeps coming back up, like the weekend with Diddy, like the Justin Bieber. Yeah. Like obviously, I hope that he goes away for what he's done, but I also hope that a lot of other people that are guilty of these things as well get dragged into it.
Yes.
Please.
Yes. Yeah, I don't think it's just him. He has a whole group and clientele, if you...
Right.
Is what it seems like.
Yup. But, OJ had the glove that didn't fit. The glove don't fit, you must have quit. So far, PD's defense has stated that a love of baby oil is not a federal crime.
He's not wrong, I guess.
And they also have gone to make the statement that domestic violence is not sex trafficking.
What? Wow. I guess another point, but...
They're also not there to judge him for his sexual preferences, unless they involve underage people. But
and forcing them and drugging them, unless your sexual preference is drugged victims that I forced into things, and
allegedly.
The
defense attorney says that surveillance tape is indefensible, but not evidence of sex trafficking. So basically, the defense has taken the stance of he's got problems, but it's not as bad as everyone's saying. Evidence will show Combs was a flawed individual, but not a trafficker.
Wow.
His character has flaws, but he ain't that bad.
Allegedly.
But of course, they warned the jurors that they might find the freak off videos hard to watch.
Oh yeah, I could imagine.
And to consider the motives of those testifying during the trial. Consider the people testifying. Maybe they're out there trying to get their payday. Maybe they have their own motive.
Oh gosh.
And the quote here is, for many of them, the answer is simple: money.
Wow. Everyone's just after Diddy for the money.
And then of course, like it talks about like Diddy's family is showing up to support him. He's got his kids here. There's 6 of them here. He's got 7, I think.
Yeah, 7 total.
2 of them are 18. A 2-year-old. And this is the artist's drawing of him greeting his family. Thumbs up. Hey, y'all.
What up, everybody?
Thanks for the support, y'all. I got this one of like the prosecutors. I guess they must have said something here because like, dang.
He's like,
Mm-hmm.
Who did that?
This is the prosecutors. They're linking Combs and staff to a racketeering conspiracy.
Dang.
Because they say that the Combs inner circle helped him cover up his crimes, which that's, they're allegations at this point because,
Right.
Heaven forbid that I go in here and read this stuff and then like defame him.
Yeah.
Didn't have to do too much of that because he did it all himself.
But, obviously that's the whole thing is that he's this super influential artist that has all this money and he's like apparently at the tippy top of the wealth when it comes to all of the music industry.
Right.
Like they've allegations of him like having the police on payroll and all this. Yeah. No duh that like everyone was helping him out because apparently, his staff was the ones going out and buying all the baby oil.
Yeah.
Like the prosecutor said that Combs called himself a king and expect to be treated like one. All right, and they have a breakdown of their opening statements here. The prosecution, they kind of go over the scope of the allegations. They allege Combs committed crimes, including kidnapping, arson, drug distribution, sex crimes, bribery, and obstruction repeatedly and with the help of his inner circle. And then, of course, the alleged violence against Cassie Ventura. talking about how he forced her to sleep with male escorts and recording it for blackmail. Something about urinating. Oh, gross. That's nasty. Okay.
Yeah.
That's some R. Kelly stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then Combs allegedly went on the hunt after learning Ventura was seeing another man. He took a gun and found her and beat her severely, she said. And of course, the king mentality of his inner circle and those that were around him that helped him commit the crime. It focuses on 2 victims, Ventura and another victim they'll call Jane, that they'll use during the trial to protect her identity. Because that's the thing that, we was talking about downstairs where he came up here when we was talking about the trial starting, is like, hopefully nobody figures out who this jury is, because
Right. Yeah.
there's people out there that don't want to get taken down with the whole thing. And
Yeah, if I was part of this jury, I'd be like, yo, just call me Bubba.
yeah,
If they're ever referring to something I decided, it was, call me Bubba.
right. And they go into the freak offs where, they were drugged, women and men, into unwanted sex, and the assaults on Ventura. And then linking him to a racketeering conspiracy. Apparently, it covers his alleged plans carried out with his high-level employees and bodyguards. Together, they agreed to commit different crimes: kidnapping, arson, distribution of drugs to other people, exploiting employees for labor. It was just like your fantasy mafia. Basically, it's like, we can do whatever we want.
Yeah.
So let's just be horrible because we can, I guess.
Because we can.
Like, why not?
Because we're freaky.
Let's live out our. I mean, you get your deviance, right? Like once you start
Yeah.
getting into like the weird stuff, apparently it's like it snowballs.
Maybe the
Seems-
footsie guy was on his way to joining P. Diddy. Who knows?
Not the Tahoe toe tangler. They talk about evidence, various records that will come up during trial, including dozens and dozens of text messages about freak-offs, bills to hotel rooms, car services, damaged hotel rooms. She said the jury also be shown video evidence of portions of the freak-offs. Apparently, portions, because it's basically just going to be like porn.
Yeah.
The defense, they got their stances, right? We went over some of them, but the defense is Combs is complicated. He's a complicated individual.
To say the least.
Allegedly.
His attorney says that the case is about love, jealousy, and adult choices, not racketeering or sex trafficking. They also call Combs very flawed and admits to jealousy-driven domestic violence, but denied all trafficking and conspiracy charges. So they're like trying to be like, yes, the small stuff that there's definitely evidence of happened, but it's not as bad as everyone thinks it is.
Really? Okay. That's the stance.
And then they go into consensual acts. The explicit videos of the freak-offs may be uncomfortable to watch, but show consensual acts not based on coercion. So it's like everyone at the freak-off party, they want to be there. No one's being forced to be there against their will. Or there's no proof of that.
No proof of that. Yeah, that's kind yet.
We'll see. Then, of course, they got the dismissal of baby oil evidence. The massive amounts of baby oil that was seized by law enforcement searching Combs' homes last year. You may know of his love of baby oil. Is that a federal crime? No.
Yeah, but in the context of, let me just let you know how crazy these freak-offs, proportions, just how, I don't know. And you gotta have it, I would think, but maybe they did dismiss it.
Someone was talking about how the baby oil had something in it at one point. I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, like some hallucinogen or something also added into it, but I don't know.
Oh. Well, because there was different mixes of baby oil and different mixes of the alcoholic beverages.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, some for the victims and then your regular staff.
Right. And then, of course, the defense calls the motives into question of the testimonies. They just saying they're just out for money. Then after all that, the prosecution calls in an LAPD officer as the first witness. Before going to the LAPD, he worked at the hotel for 10 years, and he was working the security during the incident with Cassie. Talks about he got a woman in distress call, and he saw Combs, saw him in the elevator lobby. They asked him to identify him. He did. And they talk about surveillance. There was more surveillance cameras. There's they have one the roof, interior, parking lot of the hotel, all over the place. And let's see, they got the call. When they responded, security personnel responded to an incident in the hotel. They were required to file an incident an instant report. The reports would include photos if there was damage to the hotel. And this, this is like the brand new stuff. Like we're sitting there making this video. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's
Oh yeah, this just popped up.
There's stuff happening. We're gonna finish this video and be like, oh my gosh. Officers said that Combs had a devilish stare after a hotel altercation. He testifies that he arrived on the floor of the Intercontinental Hotel and saw Combs sitting in a towel and socks and had a devilish stare. He was just looking at me, Flores said. And Ventura looked scared and pulled her hoodie up. He escorted Combs and Cassie back to the hotel. At one point, Combs told Cassie, "You're not going to leave." Flores said that if she wanted to leave, she would. Once they reached the hotel room, Combs and Cassie entered, but Flores kept the door propped with his body. He testified that there was another man in the room, but the man wasn't engaging in any conversation. And then Combs approached him with a wad of cash.
Oh.
He interpreted it to be a bribe. Flores took it to mean don't tell nobody, he said on the stand. He declined the cash and told Combs that he'd be charged for any damage or obstruction. Music mogul would stay in his room. So he said he didn't take the money.
Okay.
All right.
Man.
And Ventura left the hotel with a purple eye. Oh, man. So he filed the incident report. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. What, did they actually do the incident report? They sent the incident report at 3 p.m. local time that day. It described the incident from start to finish, included their names and photos of a broken vase in the elevator lobby and dirt splattered on the walls. In the report, which prosecutors entered the evidence, he didn't mention the other man seen in his room. The man wasn't involved in the elevator lobby incident and didn't engage with Combs. Okay, yeah, so it's like the guy was just there. Yeah, and it just goes through talking about like how, like the defense tried to get it dismissed, the footage, I think, and they played the footage in court.
Oh gosh.
They're getting it started with like the very easy.
Yeah.
Is this you, sir? Go ahead and setting up that character, you know.
Yeah. That devilish stare.
And so because like there's no denying that like there's video evidence of that happening. There's
Absolutely.
a witness, like third party witnesses, a statement that was filed. Well, I don't know whatever ended up happened to it, but I don't know if they pull it back up or not. But anyway, yeah. So that's how it's kicking off. I'm interested to see when Cassie Ventura, they get her up there to.
Dude, yeah,
talking.
I want to know who that other man is, why he was there, unless that was a freak off, you know, like.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Spill the beans. Put this man away.
Golly, usually when we record videos, it's like this is like 2 days before, like a day of passing between us recording this going up. So who knows what's going to happen? I want to talk about it. Whatever ends up happening, I got to be like, y'all.
Matter of fact, any new updates, we'll just keep that part, make a new video. You know, just crank them out, man.
We'll just start live streaming it, or every day there's gonna be a new video of us being like, what happened today? Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh man.
P. Diddy.
Jeez. Well, that is what we know about so far. And yeah. Boy, I hope it just Ooh!
Yep.
Man.
Yep. They just now getting it started.
If he gets off the hook like nothing happened, boy, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Probably go into hiding because I made these videos. I'm going to get witness protection or something, even though I didn't witness nothing.
Right, exactly.
But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep up with this. We'll do. If you guys like this and like it, we're keeping up with it. We'll keep doing it. But yeah, today's your birthday. Happy birthday! So, toast my friends. I love you. See you next time. Bye bye.